the consumer durable space actually takes one's breath away. Witness the stocks. Voltas is up 105% year to date, and only half its business is consumer durables. Blue Star is up 109% year to date, and Hitachi Home is up 174% year to date. So, is the consumer durables business changing for the better? Let's ask the stalwarts, Pradeep Bakshi, the COO of Voltas, and B Thiagarajan, the ED of Blue Star. Gentlemen, good morning. Thank you very much for joining us. Well, let me come to you, Mr. Bakshi. What's been the experience with air conditioners? I know your first quarter was excellent, but is it indicating first-time buyers coming in or mere replacement demand?
Yeah. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. You are right. This quarter has been exceptionally good for us, despite adverse economic conditions, tough environment, and erratic weather. We have been able to do much better than the industry. Of course, because of extended summers, industry also did reasonably well. In fact, growth has been rated about 20% over last year in the same quarter. But Voltas has grown marginally better than the industry. Our growth has been to the effect of around 27% over last year in terms of revenue. So it's been all in all very good. And as you rightly said, there has been pent-up demand for last 2-3 years. Summers, did not come in time, and actually they were short-lived summers. So that pent-up demand has opened up, because this time summers actually those started late, but then they were a little extended, and till about June, July, the temperatures are hovering around 40-45 degrees in many parts of the country, and that's what we have been gained from. Largely.
Okay. Let's get Mr. Thiagarajan as well, the Executive Director of Blue Star, into this conversation. And Blue Star has reported a very good set of numbers in the quarter gone by. In fact, the EBITDA has gone up almost 40%, and profits as well up about 36%. Mr. Thiagarajan, what's the sense you're getting of how much growth you could eke out now that there is so much pent-up demand in the system? And also, how much market share? I understand that at this point in time you have about 5-6%, but do you think your market share could substantially increase?
Number one is the market is poised for an explosive growth over the next 5 years. As you know, the penetration level in India for room air conditioners is in the order of 3-4% or so. Compared with what is the market size of China, for example, 55 million, we are somewhere around 3.5-3.6 million. And as you can imagine, we have a long way to catch up. So the market is rightly poised for an explosive growth. I would expect a CAGR of 30% almost for next 5 years of a time, barring some unfortunate event or so. That is point number one. Point number two, our growth was 29% in Q1, and we grew better than the market. Our market share currently put together retail as well as institutional segment put together stand at around 8. Our goal is 9, and I think we will catch up that by the end of this year. As far as margins are concerned, it is due to indigenization of certain SKUs and components, and the next thing is the stable exchange rate. These two helped us.
Okay. Well, Mr. Thiagarajan, India is always a great long-term story. No two ways about that. But I want to know whether things are turning now. Are we on the cusp? Both you and Mr. Bakshi have spoken of a great quarter one because of an extended summer. Is that a one-off, or are you seeing green shoots of extended growth already?
Already I am seeing. As far as Blue Star is concerned, I expect the growth for the full year will be in excess of 20%. It will be lower in Q2 and Q3 because it is off season. But again, during festival season, there will be some pickup, and later on in Q4, our internal estimates or what we are prepared is for a growth in excess of 20%.
Same question to you, Mr. Bakshi. Was that a one-off summer, extended summer, that gave you that extraordinary 27% growth that you spoke of? Or do you think that even the current quarter, we have already finished 2 months of this quarter, is showing any improvement? I know you will say these are slow quarters for air conditioners, but compare like to like. Compare last Q2 with this Q2. Is there any semblance of first-time buyers coming in, of the market itself growing?
Yes, you are right, absolutely. While there we can partly attribute it to the extended summers, But then if you look at, last couple of years, despite whatever may be the economic environment, whatever may be the sentiments of the consumers because of inflation and also interest rates and other things going up. But we at Voltas have continuously been growing. If you look at our market shares, couple of years back we were hovering around 9%. Today our market share as per GfK Nielsen is 21.7%. And we are ahead of the competition by almost 700 basis points, the nearest arch rival, the second player. So you can look at, continuously, despite of whatever may be happening, we have been continuously growing, one. Secondly, for July and August for this quarter also have already passed. And we have registered growth in these 2 months also. And we have been hoping now new ambition has already set in. In fact, we have been looking at a lot of new projects will come up, and in fact there will be opportunities.
Mr. Bakshi, my question is not whether your market share is growing. The theme of this discussion is the market growing?
So market, of course, this year has shown some positivity and it has been growing. And there will be some definitely growth is going to be there. Then what growth is going to be there? I'm not too sure whether it will cross double-digit numbers overall in the year, unless until there are a lot of actually moves are taken place by the new government and the administration.
Why is the view between both of you so different? I mean, Mr. Bakshi is saying that, that there might not be a double-digit growth, while Mr. Thiagarajan is saying that, there would be a 30% CAGR growth over the next 5 years. Mr. Thiagarajan, do you think it's because some of the tier 2 and tier 3 cities are seeing a pickup in demand, and people over there, consumers over there, prefer products that are slightly lower priced? So would you be gaining because of that?
The penetration levels are around 4%. It's never in any durable. It will stay like that for a long time. In fact, over the years we have underperformed. The market has not grown as we would like it to be. So in any category, whether it is LCD television, whether it is microwave oven, or whether it is washing machine, there is a particular phase where there will be a quantum jump that will take place. That is how it happened in Japan, that is how it happened in China, that is how it happened in Far East. So imagine there is a global market size of 105 million units. Where 55 million is China. We are somewhere around 3.6 million, which is a country with very hot temperatures. The second factor is that our own figures show that 57% of our sale comes from tier 3, 4 and 5 markets. So it indicates that people are first-time buyers. And no longer it is a product meant for, as a luxury item at all. And I am very, very optimistic there is going to be an explosive growth. I have in my career witnessed that in washing machines, for example. In televisions we had witnessed at some point of a time in some other company which I was working for. So therefore, this particular industry is poised for a big time growth over 5 years. Now you asked a question, what it will be this year? I think the market growth in value terms should be ending up somewhere around 10 to 15%. And our internal goal is 20, irrespective of what the market is going to be.
Okay, and what is the pricing power that you guys would enjoy because of such a boost in demand that's expected?
We have competed with multinationals. This question to your own channel I have answered number of times. So the Prime Minister's come Make in India, inviting any multinational. I think Indian companies have responded very well. I personally hold the opinion the entry of multinational or globalization of the market has helped all the stakeholders, including Indian companies. And we welcome any kind of competition, and we are able to compete in terms of price. We are able to compete in terms of distribution. We have a very extraordinary equity in the marketplace.
No, my question was more about what would you undertake any price hikes going ahead?
Not as of now. I am not foreseeing anything at the moment.
Okay. Well, same question to you, Mr. Bakshi. Will there be, just for this year, for the math, will there be a pressure on costs? Will you have the pricing power to pass it on if there is?
No, actually, the price hike has already taken place in the beginning of this year because of energy labeling changing to the next level. And now we've been seeing last couple of months. In fact, the currency is also quite stable. So I don't foresee any reason to increase prices as of now.
Okay, just to wind up this conversation, which we began, is the market growing? Market for ACs, market for consumer durables. Your last word, Mr. Bakshi. How much did the market grow last year? How much is it likely to grow this year?
You see, last 2-3 years, in fact, till between 2005 and 2010, if you look at industry grew by more than 25%.
Yeah.
Because there's been a lot of growth happening that time. In fact, economy was doing well and all. Post 2010 onwards, when Lehman Brothers and all those events started happening, there was a turmoil in the industry. In fact, economic sentiments and consumer sentiments and everything was not right in place. And that is the reason, actually, last 2-3 years we struggled. In fact, in industry...
The struggle was how much? Was it 5%? Was it... What did growth whittle down to in the last year, in FY14? It came down to 5%?
Last year industry would have grown by about 8-10% last year. And this year I am foreseeing it will continue to grow by about 10%. That is at best I can foresee for the time being.
That was 10 to 15% was what Ms. Thiagarajan also told us. Gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us in this discussion.
Thank you.
So,